Scorpio.
Hello Scorpio, this is your forecast for July 2014, and not only are we reaching into summer, which I know you're looking forward to, but there's a lot of shifts going on in your personal chart as well. And one of the greatest things that I have as news for you is that Saturn, which has been upon you and been retrograde for the last 5 months, is turning direct this month on the 21st. And so it's like these last 5 months you've kind of been going back over all those things that you know that you've been wanting to adjust as far as your own personal energy and expression. You might have felt there's been, you know, a lot of weight on you, and so you're going to start seeing not only that this is going to lift, which it is, but when Saturn moves forward now, we're also concluding the last portion of its journey here in the first house, but not before December, all right? But you'll start seeing how it's going to be picking up speed. It won't be as heavy on you. You'll feel more that you're getting on track with yourself and coming out of it stronger, mastering the energies of Saturn now, empowering you. And Saturn can be such a great force to be reckoned with when we work with it. And so I'm really happy to see that this first house of yours, your physical energy now, will start becoming somewhat lighter upon you with this aspect. Not only that, but you're going to be even more invigorated now here next month because Mars, currently in your 12th house, it's been there ever since December 8th, okay? So you haven't really had a lot of access to Mars, all right? Mars is our driver, action, our ambition, and so forth. And when it's in the 12th house, it's kind of resting up. It's like regathering its strength and powering up its battery. And so you haven't had that drive specifically. And so when that's been in the 12th and Saturn's been retrograde in the Marsy house, which is that first house, well, you might have just felt a little bit exhausted. Now, but on the 27th here of July, Mars is going to cross your ascendants, and it will come into this first house. It rules the first house. It will power up your energies here. And then, of course, Saturn is already direct, has been for a week by then. So you're going to see when these two now come together and they're moving forward, well, hallelujah, right? So I'm so happy, I'm so excited for you, Scorpio. This is exactly what you need and what you've been waiting for, all right? So I think, you know, that the start of 2014 has been a little bit of a challenge, but for a reason though. You know, we want to ask ourselves, how can I use this? How can I use it to the max? How can I grow from this? And this is where you will find the energies within you to empower you. It's all about mastering your energies, mastering the self. This is in the sign of Scorpio. That is you, who you are. So I'm saying that this is probably going to be one of the greatest cycles, not just now, but for the next 28 years, because Mars and Saturn, they won't meet up again in this area for another 28 years before Saturn comes back in here. Now Mars comes around to this part of your chart once every other year, and it will give you that booster rocket, you know, after it kind of fuels up there in the 12th. So every other year you will have a transit in that first house to kind of propel you off on a 2-year journey, but not with Saturn. So, but we're going to talk more about that next month and what you can come to expect and what you need to look at as far as how do you want these two energies to work so that that Mars can kind of like prompt Saturn into its 28-year cycle now that it's completing its journey in the first house. Very exciting energy. And for you, it's all on a personal base. That is not true for everybody else. Everybody's feeling, you know, the Saturn return somewhere in their chart, but you're the only one in the zodiac that gets to have it to your personal self in this way. This is why it's especially important for you Scorpios. We count on you. We need you. And you are starting off on a new mission, right? And so we will see all of you filtering through society on whatever level you're working on out there. You're the ones, the reckoning force that's going to come, but probably only after it's done with a journey in the first house, because you're still kind of building that. But we will see you come onto the stage in society here from mid-December onwards. So, you know, we might not see all that much. The last 2 weeks of December needs a little time to pick up. Then we'll see 2015. Whoa, great time for you. It's going to be a wonderful year for you, Scorpio, 2015. But then we have here also, last month you were looking at your relationship, the one-on-one relationship. Venus was there, a lot of great time being shared with your partner there in June. Now here in July, Venus is coming out of this area into the 8th house. Now looking at financial situations, the money that you have with your partner, the money that you can receive as far as commissions and royalties, or a raise, for example, those things that you know that you're worth, that is going to be discussed. And Mercury retrograde here in June will turn direct July 1st. And when it does, it kind of dips back into this 8th house, the same area where Venus is. So the two of them can cooperate. They can talk and do a good talk. Why? Because Mercury rules Gemini, and it's in the sign of Gemini. And Venus is here, which is both love, but it's also those things that we value, and the money that we have and hold. So I'm seeing somehow July is going to be a good month to figure out perhaps the way you share the resources you have together. If you're married, if you're single, well, it could still be with money that you hold in investment accounts, that kind of thing, policies and so forth, or residual income, commissions and royalties. So you might have been waiting, maybe something has been delayed that you've been waiting for due to Mercury's retrograde there in June, maybe hoping that you had received it in June, but now this is on the onmarch from July 1st, and Mercury will be in this area, so it should complete itself by July 14th, all right? Now we have the Sun and the new moon in your 9th house. That has to do with foreign countries, foreign people, places, languages, that kind of thing, but also higher understanding. And so some of you might be taking on a course here this summer, or completing some exams, even though it's late already in July for exams, but not all goes on that ordinary school year calendar. So yeah, like I said, it could be a summer course. But now let me tell you, Jupiter is going to make a big shift this month. And Jupiter has been with you, Scorpio, ever since summer of last year. And Jupiter has been expanding your horizons, having you reach for those higher values. We've been talking about this spiritually, philosophically, and so forth. And so it's completing here. It will be done by July 17th, and then it's going to make a shift and move into your career house from this 9th house, where you've been researching, studying, grasping those higher insights. Now you're going to see. This is why I'm so excited, because from this month onwards and for an entire year, Jupiter is going to be working in this area of your career. It's going to expand these fields. It's going to be more generous with you. You might come to see within a year that the changes that you make are going to be very positive, strong, harmonious changes, where also perhaps a financial goodie can come to you from it as well, because Jupiter is always very generous. And it's in the sign of Leo, so things are going to be heartfelt. You might feel that, you know, you've been working really hard. Inspiration might not have been where it needed to be, just because of everything here, especially from December to now, has been a little heavy. But you will see from the end of this month, or from mid-month, July 17th, when Jupiter crosses your midheaven point into your career, you will see that suddenly inspiration, optimism, enthusiasm is really going to start boosting your rockets and then launch you. Okay, that's the 17th. And then remember, Mars on the 27th is coming in also as a booster rocket. So yeah, totally different perspective on things. So July is going to be a great month just to turn and flip those pages over into totally new chapters. All right. And of course now Mercury is going to be helping you to get on with things into this enthusiastic area of your chart where Mercury loves to communicate, loves to share, loves to find new knowledge. Coming into that 9th house, well, that's you reaching for new things and maybe even connecting with friends from afar, maybe out of country as well. The new moon, same area, 9th house. Not until here in July 22nd. But the sun, the new moon, Mercury will all be in this area here, and you will come to see that your intentions at this time of the month is those intentions you're laying down for that full year to come. And I'm seeing how you're thinking, I'm really liking my life right now. I'm picking up the groove. Things are changing. I like this space where I can go and do my study or reach out to those things that are important to me, that higher philosophy, the feeling of growing spirit. So put down your intentions. Say, you know what, I'm going to create more space in this area for me, because whatever you set down now isn't just going to be there until the next full moon. It has the power to stay with you for a whole entire year. So as you can see, we have a lot of things going on. Now I do want to talk about the full moon here this month. It's going to be a powerful one. Your 3rd house, communication, right? It could also be short distance travel. It could be news related to siblings or your closer community, you know, neighbors and so forth. But this full moon here is going to be conjunct Pluto. And the full moon is, you know, the moon is always our emotions, right? And how we fluctuate with the moon, our inner self. But coming up against Pluto with a full moon in the sign of Capricorn, well, that is something here that's going to finalize itself, okay? So there's like this ending of whatever has been worked at here with Pluto over these last few months. We know we've had, you know, the Grand Cross touching upon this area. Well, something is concluding there, which is great. And this full moon is on the 12th. And then also at the same time, I'm seeing how you are going to be able to achieve what you've worked for. There's like a goal being accomplished here. And of course, you know, emotions can run high on a moon like this. So you just want to put that on your calendar too here for July 12th. So on the 4th, let's start top of the month. We have the Sun and this Pluto working together here, looking at what you want to do, what changes do you want to create. It's between your 3rd and 9th house, so communication, travel, short distance, long distance. Kind of just watch that you don't spread yourself too thin. And then on the 7th, we have an unexpected surprise, and I love those Venus and Uranian connections, because it's like out of the blue, here's something surprising or also some change coming in. And for you, this will be between your 8th house and that of your 6th house. So for you, it might just be something in the area from your day-to-day schedules that might just open up like a Pandora's box and perhaps allow you to do something different, okay, put in different value systems. Probably also that with your partner. Now on the 9th, we have the Sun and Saturn trine, and that is between your 1st house and the 9th house. So I'm feeling that has to do with some kind of an agreement that you're putting out there, that you're anchoring down. Saturn is still retrograde, so it's not direct before the 21st, but the Sun is here, and it's having you look at some kind of, I won't say an agreement, because you're going to try to make an agreement out of it, but it's something that you see, something you visualize. You know, the 9th house is Sagittarius, and Sagittarius always keep their eyes on the long-term horizon, okay? So you might have an inspiration that you've been working on, and On this day, you might be able to lock it in, and it's carrying this news forward to the 13th, where Venus and Mars are cooperating really, really nice. And this will be between your 9th house and your 12th house. So once again, I'm seeing it's coming in from this higher vantage point and connecting with a desire that you've been holding in your heart, you know, in your spiritual desire. It might also be a very romantic evening here for you and your loved one on the 13th, so note that on your calendar. And followed here by the 13th. Now, this is really nice. If the 13th was nice with Venus, Mars, well, here you have Mercury and Neptune on the 19th having talks of something that's very gentle but deep in a spiritual sense. It's like the ability now to communicate things that at other times might be a little sensitive, but where now it just feels good, it feels safe. It's a great time to suggest something new and then have your partner be really open and listen to it. So if you have any thoughts about that earlier on, you know, and you wonder when that would be a good time to have such a talk, 19th. Really much so. And then I'm seeing here on the 22nd, Mercury is going to come in. First it was having the gentle talk with Neptune on the 19th, but now it's talking to Pluto. That's transformations. Now we're starting to embed this in a deeper, more transformative way. Pluto is, you know, the magician. It has the ability to cut an umbilical cord, be done with it, and now you're out in this new life, and that's what Pluto's all about. The new transformative self. Mercury coming in here, it's like now you're testing the waters of, you know, how good did it feel here on the 19th? Can we really do this? Can we implement it? Yeah, we want to implement it, but what do we need to do to get there? That's what this talk is going to be about. And then as you do, you will see the benefit of it, because where Mercury was communicating with Neptune beautifully, now Venus is going to be talking with Neptune beautifully. Same kind of energy, but now the heart is all involved here on the 24th, okay? So it's like this whole process is from the 19th straight throughout the month, is now helping you and your partner to visualize the dream of what you're birthing, this new self, this new energy, synergy between you and your higher self and you and your partner and his or her higher self. And then that will have a couple of days of being mulled over, just thought, contemplated, and then now that too will be questioned a few days later, just like Mercury and Pluto did. Now here comes Venus, wants to implement too. So now you're talking about it, but now you're also sharing and feeling and figuring out the new ways to explore this energy. You will know, it sounds like a lot of words right now, but just you wait till you get there, Scorpio. You will know exactly what this means to you in your relationship. Now, for those of you who are single, I know you're asking, what about us? What about us? You know, we're single. How does this fit in? And as I've said before too, even for you single people, you always have a relationship that is first and foremost with yourself. So does everybody else that's in a relationship. Their primary relationship is always with self. Watch where your mind is. Watch where your thoughts are. Watch where your heart is. You may be working on opening up these new transformative chapters for you, all right? So it's still going to be a very exciting journey for you. So yes, July 21st, remember, that is what we're looking for you when Saturn now is going to be moving forward and concluding the journey in that first house. Jupiter on the 17th, moving out of the area of the 9th house of education into your career house, so you should start seeing speed pick up and new opportunities come your way. After the 17th, Venus will move into to Cancer out of the sign of Gemini on July 19th, so that will be out of your 8th house into your 9th house. Great time for travel anytime after that 19th. And then we also have Mercury moving out of Gemini into Cancer this month. That will be on the 14th. So, as you can see, a lot of things going on, a lot to look forward to here, Scorpio. So I am so excited for you. And we'll talk more next month about how things now are going to energetically pick up for you. So do read or listen to your moon and your rising sign, and I will see you in August.